Hi, and welcome to doTERRA U, the official podcast of doTERRA Europe. On this podcast, you will hear from world-class speakers and experts on education, inspiration, and actionable tips to help you live your best doTERRA life. My name is Ludo Bolcato, Product Education Manager of doTERRA Europe, and I'm pleased to be your host today. On today's episode, I'm speaking to Oliver and Angela Kersten. And oh my goodness, where do we even start with these two? They are the perfect example and inspiration for anybody who wants to live their life on their own terms. These guys have forged a path for themselves based on exactly what they want, and they live every day to the fullest. They are absolute inspiration when it comes to wellness, business, and personal development. Angela, Oliver, thank you so much for being here with me today. Yeah. It's such a pleasure to have you here. I am buzzing. I cannot wait to start this conversation, so thank you.
Well, it's amazing. It's a pleasure. It's very professional. I feel so professional. It's amazing. Thank you.
Perfect. So I think one of the questions where I'd like to start is, can you please tell me what your life looked before doTERRA? Who were you before doTERRA?
Was there a life before doTERRA? Interesting question. What do you think?
I remember it feels like it was really another life. Mm-hmm. It was the life before doTERRA. And I was cutting hair back then. I was a hairdresser. I had a shop in Munich. And I always thought I liked what I do, but I some kind of got bored of that. Mm-hmm. And it was over and over and over the same things. And it was exhausting. But actually there was not much else I thought I could do until Angela popped up with a new idea.
That's what I'm doing. So my life was always very creative. Mm-hmm. In my first main job, I'm an actress and worked in TV stations, etc. So talking is quite an issue for me. It has always been. What hasn't changed was that I never felt comfortable in being employed. Mm-hmm. I don't want to harm anyone who's employed. That's all good. But for me, it felt like not being possible. So I could never have the same day, mm-hmm. never. This day exactly like the last day and the next. So mm-hmm. it has always been very spontaneous and very changing and very emotional. So that's why somehow when doTERRA hits in, it totally fits into my feeling mm-hmm. of creating my own life. Okay. That was always a big issue for me, big thing for me.
Yeah. And can you please tell us, when did doTERRA arrive in your life?
I think it's 2017, am I correct?
No, it's 2018. We started 2018.
I'm not the numbers person, so just that you know.
We started 2018.
Guess who's doing the back office?
And we really got starting with the business was in the end of 2018. This was when we realized that there is the potential of growing something with mm-hmm. doTERRA. So beyond using the oils, using the products, it was 2018 when we just started thinking about there could be another life, mm-hmm. which could be not a 9-to-5 life, which could just change our whole approach. So 2018, yes.
Wow. We started classically as customers. I used mm-hmm. the oils, I was happy, and then I couldn't stop talking about it. Like a lot of people experience. Yes, I fell in love, and I could say, I want to heal everyone, I want to help everyone. So I always had my oils mm-hmm. with me, and I was talking to every client that he was cutting hair and blow drying all the time. And I was trying to go through the oils. You could use this, you could use this. So it was kind of a performance in mm-hmm. our hairdresser shop. And then I step by step found out that it's a business opportunity. Yeah. I didn't know that, mm-hmm. Which was very exciting. I had no experience in network marketing at all. I just remember that when I found out, it's network marketing, I remember that my mother mm-hmm. had, when I was a kid, had a makeup. It's mm-hmm. from a makeup company. And it was a lady, and she came to our house once a month. And she came there, and that was crazy good. I loved those moments mm-hmm. because my mother was so happy and someone taking care of her. Mm-hmm. And those were my only experience with network marketing so far. And they were 100% good. So when I learned about the business model, I found out, that's a good thing to do. Mm-hmm. It's close contact. It's being close to people. Mm-hmm. It's a lot of talking, showing, having good product. So it totally makes mm-hmm. sense. And it totally made sense to us then.
Yeah, and I was actually just curious. I love talking, so this is what gets us together. We love to talk. We love to inform people about what we do. We love to share our passion. And I was just curious on how we could get it started. Mm-hmm. And then we just didn't overthink it. We just got into that. And this is what I could tell everyone in the beginning, just get it going.
Okay, nice. What are some of the challenges that you had to overcome, during the journey?
As we haven't had any experience in network marketing before, but we are quite good sellers.
Yeah.
We're just talking about oils, talking about the product, selling, had a lot of new customers, but we have never had any kind of system. What happens then? So we had those customers, but we had no clue how to keep them. Yeah. We had no clue about LRP. We had no idea about what's a good information, what's a good system to keep them as loyal customers. So I guess we lost hundreds, really like hundreds customers just by making them passionate at one situation at the intro class, which we did like thousands, feels like thousands. But then we kind of lost them. You remember?
I would say it is like we started so passionate that we did not think of any follow-ups. Okay. So we just went out, we shared our passion, and we got a lot of fans, but we did not have enough space for just serving all the fans. And it took us a while to find those systems, which Angela was talking about, to really give every customer and every potential builder the best basis to start from. So it's like, I think it's a common issue and a common challenge that people always looking on what works for them instead of what duplicates. Yeah. So we should focus a lot more on the duplication, that others want to do the same like we do, than in what works for us. So think about what the others do first, and then think about how to support them second, and then think what works for you. Because when the others start doing the same, it will have a huge leverage and a huge impact.
Okay. Yeah, and the classical one that we had a lot of customers, but we couldn't find anyone who was looking at us in the intro class, me performing for 3 hours, and no one was sitting there and saying, I can do the same. No one was thinking that.
And I tried to do the same.
He was really
each and every time.
He gave his best.
we had intro classes with 3.5 hours. And we had always the same joke that in the end everyone was buying because we just had to stop talking.
They're just so tired. Like, please, guys, just stop.
I buy, but please shut up now.
Stop now.
And this was really, really funny. Yeah. Before we started really implementing some systems which made it duplicatable.
Okay. And in a way, I treated every customer different, which is nice. I looked at their individual issues, but on the other hand, there was nothing I could lean on in the second conversation, and I couldn't remember. I act somehow like a therapist or something, but I'm not. So, and that's not the way how we treat customers. It doesn't make any sense. So I really had to find out what are the steps, how to talk to customers, how to make the second conversation, the third conversation step by step. And then the next thing was to teach others how to do the same. And that was a big
I guess
thing.
This is a hard
It took us years. years. Yeah.
You always wanted to have the perfect answer to each and every issue before we changed a little in our mindset that we support already healthy people in living the best possible lifestyle, instead of try to cure anything, because this is not what we're here for. We're just sharing a product and a passion, and this we're doing really passionate.
Yeah. So now that you reached the rank of Presidential Diamond, do you still face some challenges, or I don't know, maybe the perception is that now that you reach that high rank, you don't have any challenges and life is just smooth?
Exactly.
Really
no challenge. We don't have any challenges. Right? We're lying on the pool. Yeah, we have a nice pool, sunshine every day. So
it's exactly the opposite. I always say that now we slowly understand how this business works. I would say for the last 1.5 years, we're really getting into the business model, the structure, the systemize everything. So that's why I would say we're slowly understand the business. After all those years, it's really hard to say, and it's a bit shameful, but it's really like that. And now it feels like we just started. In a way, the movement has just begun, because now we know how to duplicate. Now we know how important the system is. Now we know how to teach a system and to teach others to teach a system. So this is just the way how it's going. And that's why for us, it feels like the movement has just begun. So we're not working less.
Yeah.
No,
You're
not
working
a
more.
second. I would even say, it's not more, it's just
we're
not,
working differently.
it's really not,
We're
just
working...
not possible. Yes, but yeah, it's not this picture that we have, yes, you're a PD and then you relax. You can do whatever you choose, but our characters are like that. We really want to make this movement even bigger. And we want to show others how to make their own movement using network marketing doTERRA as a tool for a personal growth and movement. So that's what we're concentrating now. And of course, along the way, there are so many things in communication, dealing with, it's a people's business. So there were some things, and I don't know how deep we want to dig into, but we could give some examples that were really, really challenging and in the last year.
So you're actually, your challenges are growing with you. So you have different challenges with the rank of presidential diamond than you have in the beginning when you were a silver, because your team grows bigger. So it's a lot more people. More people, more problems.
It doesn't sound easy, not for a second.
No, it is not. It is really not. And I'm really going for that mindset that people don't expect it to be easy, because we have this common mindset. Everyone's trying to have everything in flow and everything easy and everything however it should be. It is just not. So in between, sometimes it is, and you appreciate it, but often it is like hard work. So you have to deal with many people, and you have to deal with many people's opinions and ideas and whatever they have. Everyone bringing his own stuff to the table. And I think you have misunderstandings. What you learn on the way is communicating really clear, which is a big issue in the beginning. We are talking a lot, but we are not really clear on the point. And while evolving from one rank to the other, you are creating a better communication skill. So you're really clear, and everything you're challenged with is something you bring from your past. So you grow with people which you attracted in the beginning. But we attracted a lot different people 7 years ago than we attract now. So it is always a mirror of your own situation in the time when you are attracting someone. So about 5, 6, 7 years later, you are dealing with some challenges you attracted 7 years ago. So I think no one is really talking about that, but network marketing, in my opinion, is the best way of doing anything. But creating a network means you are connected to each other in good times and bad times. And if you attract someone about 7 years ago, which was a perfect fit back then, might not be a perfect fit now. So I can say, and I'm very, very grateful for that, of a team from now 16,000 people, something like that. We have the situation that we are really, really good with almost everyone. But some of them went into a different direction, which is okay. And you have to deal with that. So you have to deal with the situation when you are not on the same side. And it is all about communication. I think this is the most important skill you can learn on the way, is to find a way to communicate and get back together on the table.
It's not a job that you go somewhere and you ask, tell me about this job, and I learn it for 3 years, like hairdresser, for example. And so it's a job you have to learn by your own experience and by mentorship. So it's really important to look for mentors who are really more experienced than you are and ask them some question or whatever. So this is something we're coming to, I guess so. And there was something that we really had to learn it painfully, was when you have the feeling of losing a leg. In the past, we had the feeling of, we've lost this leg. So we have lost a qualifier during our years. So
it was quite surprising. It felt like a surprise. Oh, we lost a leg. But it's not a surprise, actually.
No, and when we listen to others and they say, yes, I lost a qualifier, I'm like, no.
But you didn't lose it.
You just haven't looked at the points that help you calculate where this person is going. So there are a few things that you can really look at. How many core rank, which is elite in our situation, how many elites does this team create every month? You can calculate, is this person going to live events or is she not? If she is not coming, it's a sign to go in communication. So there are some things, if you look at them and you know which point you have to check, you're not losing it coincidentally. You see it coming. And there's some point where you say, stop, we can, let's sit together and look at that. So this changed completely from the feeling of, what a mess, we lost a leg, we forgot to calculate and we forgot to look at the important things.
Yeah. But is it something that you can kind of say now with experience?
Yeah.
Or because back then you didn't have the feeling of, like calculating this forward thinking, right?
Now because we've learned it, and everyone in our team, we tell them, you can check this. They don't have to make...
Sort of like red flags.
Yes.
Like in relationship, you have it in this, right?
Flags. You just have to know where are the red flags. And we didn't know, but we learned through the lesson. And then we learned with our mentorship and etc. But our team doesn't have to make the same mistakes. They might, because they insist. It's okay. It's okay. Sometimes it's like that. But I think... And I heard this sentence from Elise Shellery once. She said, no one has made more mistakes than Patrick and Elise. She said, I would say no one has made more mistakes than we in the German-speaking market, because we're always like creating something, tear it down, tear it apart, do something else, building, rebuilding, etc.
But that's the way you learn, right? Making mistakes.
The way you learn, I know it's not everybody's cup of
painful.
tea. Yeah, it's painful.
Yeah.
It's always the way of plan, do, review.
Yeah.
So we plan something, we do it, and I think this is one of our main strengths. We just do it. So we don't overthink. We plan it, we do it, and then we review it. And this is sometimes really cool, and this is sometimes really painful, but we just tried it. So I think the main thing is to start to accept that it is about a business. It is like, treat it as a business. It's not a hobby. So if you want to grow to a certain rank, and I think this is above silver, you have to treat it as a business. And then it changes, because if you treat it like a business, and if you just imagine it would be your only business. So this is for the lower ranks at the beginning. If you treat it like everything you do, every income producing activity you do is the only way you would have in order to earn money. If you would get $1,000 for each one you call, if you would get $1,000 for putting each name on your names list, if you really treat it like a business, it changes your view on that. So we so often see that people try to play their way into the game, which is okay. But on one day you have to make a decision to treat it like a business, and then just go for it.
Which means that you at one point have to decide, am I doing an income producing activity, or I'm just doing a managing mode? And this is a huge thing. You have a little team and you start to feel like some kind of management, which is nice. The feeling, but only for a minute, because then you police have to go on and just see what is my income producing activity, because we all have to do, it doesn't matter what rank, we all have to do income producing activities. So which are the ones that it's enrolling, it's presenting. So when you stop doing this and switch into management mode because it feels so fancy, this is the wrong direction. And when you look at your people and they start, and we always ask, are you working on your homepage? Okay, stop it. Have you enrolled someone?
Have you enrolled?
Yes.
for everyone, for the brand new listeners, if you're just creating your perfect business card, stop it. If you are working on your perfect flyers, stop it. So whatever you do,
just call someone.
Ask your question, am I getting money for that? So if your answer is no, stop doing it. You can do it when you're diamond and above, but don't do it now, because this is everything which will slow you down on the way to success. And you need a certain amount of success in order to feel good and to keep on working.
Yeah, and when you come to the higher ranks, the trap is even bigger, because then some people just really completely stop by doing income producing activities. So that's what I meant. It's not feeling different for us because we're building and building and building. So that's why it feels like it's more or less the same.
But this is why you're so successful.
Yes, I guess so.
Yeah.
And this is
That's
something.
one part.
This is something which feels sometimes so boring. To be really honest, because
intro class 1,270.
And you're not paid the best because you're steadily evolving new things. It is about recreating the same things over and over again and get better at your skills. It's not like being a new you every day. it's just being a better you doing the same things over and over and over again. That's it.
And it sounded a bit like also getting your priorities straight at the right rank is crucial, right?
Yeah, and you have to know them. You have to know them. And we really had to learn what are the things. But I mean, we have amazing tools. Everything is written down. You can see the mindset for every rank. So it's obvious. You don't have to make it up. So we have all the tools and the informations in doTERRA needed to learn that. And since we started, the marketing tools, everything has improved like it's insanely good. So you're a part of that. Yes. I mean, so many things have been created during the last 5 years. So I would say we have everything and more to know it all. You just really have to look at it and take it seriously and watch it and learn it and then do it.
Yeah. I have one more thing about that because I was just thinking while you were talking. I think it's important not to be so serious about yourself. So in the beginning, you think everything has to be branded,
unique,
regarding your own expectations. Everything has to be perfect for you. And over time, I love sharing just the stuff from other teams. So for example, if someone is asking me about a good video about the business, I'm constantly sharing Matt Hall's video, which is 4 years old, but it's just like perfect. So I couldn't make it better. And sometimes it's even easier to share something from someone else than your own stuff, because then you are not the holy grail. It's just like, I have a good information from a friend of mine. May I share it with you? Just be easy and use the things which are already there.
Yeah. But I think that also involves a certain degree of like maturity and removing the ego out of the equation, which is not easy. So kudos to you for doing that. You kind of cracked the code.
Yes, it's a common trap for high earners that they start doing I just have to be careful what I'm saying, not to offend anyone, because I don't mean anyone, to make up their own TV show or to make up their own super coaching program, etc. Or write a book. This is a classical one. Write a really serious book.
Keep it simple.
So I'm a top earner. Now I need to go out in the world and become the next Tony Robbins. If you take your network marketing business, if you take your doTERRA business serious, then you continue doing the work. And the work is clearly defined. And the work is not really automatically including writing a book or starting a huge coaching program, because when you travel around your country doing coaching sessions with everyone, and you make extra money with that, a lot, I don't know, but you forget your team. And your team is then there, and you're the super priest and you're the super coach, but your team is
lost without you, right?
So this is a big trap for top earners. That's why I would say there's a difference between top leaders and top earners, because top leaders would never leave their team alone. Top earners, yes, they would go. They would go for the ego way. They would go for the fancy way, standing on the big stages, and it has nothing to do with the company.
Yeah.
It's just like...
It's just an ego thing.
So... Of course, people can do that. It's not our way, because we are creating a huge team and we really insist on being doTERRA leaders. So that's I mean, so there are different traps in different ranks, I would say.
Of course.
Yeah.
That triggered my next question, and also something that I wanted to say. Like, you obviously are very unique, and I still vividly remember the first time I met you guys. We were in Puglia attending leadership retreat a couple of years ago, and I actually met you the day before you went on stage, and you were just dancing, completely disconnected from the world, but I could clearly see the energy between you both was incredible. And then the following morning, you were on stage, and again, there was something about you both. There was just like, okay, these two are special, and their energy can be felt. Like, people can feel your energy. So how do you work with your energy? And I'll stop here for a moment.
Hopefully we are not unique, because I think that there are many more with a special energy and a special energy around them. They're just hidden still. And the interesting thing, the event that you mentioned, this was the first time when we left stage, people were coming to us and saying, this was so good, but watching you makes me feel that I can also do it. And this was we were like,
this is brilliant.
Is this something positive? Because we were is this something nice, or does it sound like we are some funny tattoo guys and no one takes us serious. No, it's the best compliment you can get when it comes to duplication. That when you are authentic, people that are triggered by authenticity.
Authenticity.
Thank you. People that are triggered in this.
Authenticity.
Yes, amazing. Thank you. This is quite a special word in English. So when they're triggered in this and they see you and they get connected to their own
authenticity.
Thank you. Then they feel like they can do it as well.
Yeah.
So
authentic.
Yes, authentic is pretty simple. So this is the most goal for us, that people see us and say, okay, they do it. They're just normal people. Oh, when someone's coming to us and saying, oh, you're exactly like you on Instagram, I could never have imagined. I think that's a good thing because we are just like. We
authentic.
are. Yes.
Thank you, Oliver.
Guess what? It's his favorite word.
It's my favorite word.
Word of the day.
Yes,
it's my favorite word.
Yes. But what was your question? I forgot your question anyway.
It's about the energy.
I remember.
How
do you?
I remember, if you like, I could answer.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, please.
Say something.
Again, the basis of the whole thing is a good system. So if your system is clear, you have a lot of space to move. So you can see a system, no matter if it's on network marketing or if it's on stage or whatever you have. If you have a good set of tools you can rely on, you are quite safe. So if you know what to do, if you have your steps to go, then it saves you so much. Thank you, Angela. It saves you so much energy because you can dance around your tools because you are just like, you're safe where you go. So this is what you need. You need steps which are working. So the most important thing is that things are duplicatable and they work. So if you have that, then it's not so important if you are tattooed and barefoot and just like super happy, or if you are wearing a tight suit and this is all like some people are more related to people who look super business-like or super easy or super hippie-esque or whatever. So this is just like a style. But I think the basis is a good system and dancing around your system and being really authentic. Again, this word.
Yeah, again, this word. I love it. But it's quite usual in the doTERRA world to see the women taking care of, the products and teaching classes side of things, and then the men, business. How does it work for you, or how do you balance this energy between you guys?
Presenting oils is business, doing business. So I would start with that.
I like that.
Of course, when women do intro classes, they're doing business. Yeah. It's pretty tough. We've done our intro class as we have worked completely offline for the first 3 years at least. Yes, completely 100% offline. Yeah. No online. We had no idea that Instagram existed. Yeah. So we always have done intro classes together, like a performance, which was very nice. I mean, it was long, but it was
long in the beginning, and then over time we had a script for that.
Yes,
so we started with a system on intro classes, and it was a clear script. So whatever happened, if Angela stopped talking, I could just take over in that situation. And we did those intro classes together. And this was really, really fun because it took us to really strange places all over Europe. And we have been in yoga huts, and we have been in massage studios, and we have been everywhere. Don't mention every spot. And it is like, if it comes to couples, I think this model and always riding along this model is a bit ridiculous because it gets you back in the Stone Age. It's like the women is taking care of the children and the guys are going out for hunting. This is just not the way it is. I see often that there are some skills in the gender which might be easier for someone. So it comes quite naturally to me just to check the numbers at the end of the month because I'm curious where we're going to. And Angela shares the product wherever she's going. So I think...
But you're also sharing the product. Yeah. It's just not...
in a different way.
Yes, exactly. That's it. So,
but as we've really systemized everything, it's what he says that when I stop talking, he can continue. So this is what we teach others. But you can
the same. So if I'm doing a business intro and I start coughing, she can talk. So
we're doing it together.
I think we have more or less the same knowledge, but some different ways of where our passion goes. In the end, it goes in the same direction. And actually, yes, when it comes to special product things, I'm asking her. And if it comes to, how was it again with the power of three?
Calculate something.
Calculate anything.
It's not that...
Sometimes she comes to me, but not because I know it better. I think it's more because she does not like it that much. Is it?
There are some women who love numbers, so let's do numbers. I'm really not the perfect numbers person, which is okay, and it doesn't have to be with my something. It doesn't have to be connected to my gender. It's just that I'm not really.
And the funny thing is, I got kicked out of school because of math.
Wow!
So I was never into numbers. But I found out if the numbers mean something. It changes everything. Yeah. So because these numbers are important to me, so I treat them like they are important. And it is always the same where energy, where attention goes, energy flows.
I guess that's the right.
It's like that. And I love those numbers because those numbers mean something to us. And the numbers in the end are just like the product of the work we are doing all together. Yeah. So if there are no intro classes, there are no numbers. So you have to do it together because you have to understand each other. So I think it's super important for every man in this business, host your class. At least 10 of them.
Yeah. And we have this thing about being obsessed being together. So we would never do an intro class or business training alone. So we are doing everything together. So every
this
business
is so
training.
cool.
Yes, but we're obsessed with it. I think this might be a bit unique. I don't know.
I think that
there are some couples. I don't know, but
if you think about that, if it comes to this product numbers thing, what's about Boyd Truman? Is he talking numbers or is he talking product? And when it comes to Elise, was she talking about a business strategy or was she talking about oils? I think we have to let this idea go. So
we represent the business. We represent the business opportunity. We represent the company. So if this includes everything.
Yeah, everything is intertwined.
Yeah, and this.
Yeah. But the funny thing is, I never in my whole life did one doTERRA order until today because she never lets me.
No, I always decide what we're gonna.
And this is when I have to explain it to a new customer how he sets his LRP. I have to ask her because I never did it because she never let me. So,
but there are some good videos I can send you, so you can watch it and say how to create your first LRP. It's super easy.
Okay, cool.
You'll get it, Oliver.
Yeah,
it's really
you get to.
Otherwise, I call the customer service. They're working very nice with me.
So what you said earlier about the script, like you can finish off each other's sentences and stuff. Is this also something that you share with your team, or how do you work with your team?
So we had to learn when we were stuck, and we were stuck in some ranks, of course. It was always the thing that we were missing a system. Yeah. Sorry to say this, but again and again, it wasn't my favorite word. Authentic and system is the most said word in this podcast.
Authentic system.
It's an authentic system. So we were stuck at one point. I think it was gold, right?
We were. It was gold, in my opinion, we were stuck several times. The first time was silver.
Silver, okay.
And we were very fast silver, and then it was like it felt like stuck, but I think it was just like 3 or 4 months.
Yeah, but for us it felt like
that. Felt a long time.
Because
maybe
we had a clear plan. It had to be diamond as fast as possible. So silver was just like a milestone, and gold was a milestone, and it was just like okay, check mark. And the first time we really felt stuck was silver to gold.
So yes, and feeling his frustration and which leads me to my frustration. So we're like, okay, I have to change something. And then I was looking for the best person that I found reachable in doTERRA, which was Elise Shadowee at that moment. She was triple presidential. I was saying, okay, triple presidential, that's a thing. Wow. So, and then I found a program she was offering. And we went there in the Czech Republic. And she was the first saying, okay, there's a basic duplication model, so it has to be duplicatable. So when we felt stuck, we were looking for mentorship. So we found it in Elise Shadowee years ago, and then we came back and we teach the whole system, our complete team. Since that day, we had a 100% script for an intro class, for a business class. It's written down, scripted word by word. So no one has to made it up in our team by themselves. And we shared it with other teams as well. We shared it with everyone. I think this German version of Elise is everywhere. We have asked her. She said it's okay. Yeah, translate it into German and shout it out. So that's what we did. And the same was when we were blue for a long time. For us, it felt like forever. And it felt like being stuck. Yeah. And we decided, okay, we need something. We need more duplications. There's something we're missing. And because I'm really keen on looking a weak point. Yeah. Where's the mistake? What are we missing? So, and I couldn't find it by myself. I said, okay, we need a mentor. We need another mentor. It's time for another mentorship. Yeah. So we went to meet Eric Worre, which I found out, in my opinion, is the best in this business. So I said, okay, we have to ask him. So that's why we found another mentorship. And every time when we learn something, we implement it, teach it to our team. Yeah. So this is how we work. So we are working on systemizing everything, show it to our team that they can show it to their people, etc. So this is a energy that's flowing.
That's beautiful. And then so generous, because I'm guessing maybe some people are quite attached to their work and they feel like, oh yeah, you can grow on your own. And
yeah, but then they're not doing network marketing. They're just doing something else.
In our case, for all the guys from our team who are listening to that podcast, I want to apologize for overwhelming you constantly. This is
we
what
have a
we
new
do.
idea. Let's do it tomorrow.
We are working on our own very personal system, which is Angela is constantly harvesting ideas. So whatever it is, she's always looking for new ideas, and then we talk it through. And those who survive our whole,
I mean, they're all good. Yeah? That's for sure.
So she thinks they are all good in the beginning, and then we talk them through. And some of them are really good. Yeah. Most of them are quite good. And then we work on those until we get them into a duplicatable idea. And then we go out to our teams. And this is, when we do this, we can be very, very fast. And sometimes this is what we learned, we can be too fast. Okay. Because it's like, we expect it from everyone to be as adaptable as we are, and this is just not working out. So we try to get it down in smaller chunks by now and change step by step and implement new things. But I would say in our team, whoever wants to be inspired can be inspired in weekly team calls, and whoever wants to go with us can go with us, but whoever wants to run with us can run with us too. So we are going on a very fast pace, and whoever wants to keep up with us is super invited. And we try not to let anybody fall back who is not fast enough. So we try to create trainings which get people on the different stages of the way. So what we are really focusing on is the first stage, Elite, which is doTERRA's core rank, to find a way to show people how to get there and to show other people how to get there and to show other people how to show other people how to get there. Because in the end, they will be Elite, Silver, and Platinum. And if you have 6 Platinums, you're a Presidential Diamond. So the knowledge about this core rank situation is actually the basis of the whole growth. And we think the better people understand the way and the easier the way it is to be imagined. So simplicity is the ultimate sophistication in whatever we try. So we try to give it all to our team in a way which is kind of digestible for everyone. And again, apologize for those who feel overwhelmed.
Some might say we should improve. So we're learning daily.
We're working on that. Yes, maybe we'll find a mentor.
Maybe.
Well, funny that you mentioned it, because one of my questions was, do you have a mentor, a role model that shaped you in inverted commas into the leaders you are today?
Yeah.
We love to communicate with other European PDs, especially. Yeah. There are a few that we're really close, and I love the exchange and the trips. That's so important, really, really. When we meet and we talk and sit together and have dinner together and say, this is your, this could be more. We could improve that. In doTERRA, I would say we can improve that. But
mentioning some names about mentors, we started with Elise Shadoway, who back then created this basic duplication model, which is the basic workbook for everyone in doTERRA. You can still find it. You have these daily mentor calls from Elise Chedevy, which really had been a big part of our way. Then we started working with a lady who was called Deb Erickson. Deb Erickson was very nice, another idea from my wonderful wife. She was doing weekly calls, and she found a good way in between some spiritual ideas in personality growth as well as business. So it was like you had as well the a sound healing thing as the IPA, which I heard first about income producing activities. So it was a good mix. And now we're working with Eric Worre, which is really mind blowing. We are in a kind of mastermind with him with 100 people in total. And this is really, really, really inspiring, because I think no one of us started their life with the plan being a network marketing leader. This is not something when you got asked at school, you go and be a pilot or a bus driver or whatever. No one's saying, I'm going into MLM, I'm going to be a great leader. So this is...
but yesterday...
we worked on that. We are just working on that.
Yesterday, I had a conversation with my 14-year-old son, 14. So, and we were talking about where to go next, and when he's finished school, and he's very into sports. On the way, he wants to be a professional sportsman. On the other hand, he was saying, okay, the life you live, the movement you create, the way network marketing is working, the way doTERRA is working, it's a pretty good thing to do. Maybe I might join. And I'm like, yes, made it. Yes, next generation. Just by watching us. And I think this is a very good mirror when your children saying things that you're doing, they seem very good, very helpful for people, very supportive, and which is a very important thing for us, that we can decide freely where to go and when to go and what to do there.
This is huge.
Yeah, and this is huge. And he said, this is really worth it. I know it's a tough job and you're working so much, but the freedom you create with your life is so impressive. I might join, which is very good.
And it's part of our moving to really get network marketing in the light where it should be. Yeah. So, because it is, when you ask someone what he's doing to make a living on, as soon as it is something everybody knows, everyone agrees that it might be a good idea. And we think in network marketing, it's just like the big misunderstanding that people don't get the point, what it is about network marketing or all those Ponzi's and pyramids. But this is just a lack of information. This is not a problem from the industry. This is a lack of information. So this is what we are working on. And this is what we need mentors for, because we didn't learn it either. So we have to find a way to get our own information.
To professionalize it.
Professionalize it and pass it on. And I think if you're not in a situation where you can afford an Eric Worre's mastermind, or you're just like in the beginning, start reading. I think it's just like start reading. So if you're completely new to the industry, just take Eric Worre's GoPro. It's a small book, just read it. It's worth $1,000 in a mentor per hour. It is all the knowledge you need in the beginning is in GoPro. Then start with some mindset books. It's like Think and Grow Rich or all the classics. Just start reading, because there's so much information in that, and one book will guide you to the next one until you are on the next level where you might need a mentor. And in doTERRA, the whole system is actually built like you have your mentor. Just like look into your upline list. This is what brand new people might not know. Go into your back office, check your upline list, and look who is above you. Go in contact, just ask them. If they don't talk to you, they may not be your mentors. But if someone is taking time, listens to you, and tries to support you, this could be your mentor. So be willing, coachable, and hungry, and coachable to find someone who really supports you. So take things you get from others in order for your own growth.
I love that. And this is also triggering my next question is, what advice would you give to somebody, couples or not, starting this business?
Create a plan. Create a plan first. So if you fall in love with the product, perfect. And if you want to start a business, really learn and understand the business. Learn about network marketing so you get rid of these crazy questions. If it's a Ponzi, just read about it and you will understand it. Maybe another book recommendation could be Robert Kiyosaki, which is just about network marketing. Just read it and you will understand more. So the more professional you are and the more professional you appear, the easier it will be for you to be understood and people take you serious. So be the way you wish people to see you. So be professional and be kind. This is really important. Professional, kind, and serving. I think this is the basis for being a good start in network marketing. Yes. And what's it about couples?
First, I want to add, understand the core rank, understand elite in doTERRA especially, understand how this rank is created and how you can show people what are the basic steps, what are the pipes, what you have to do. This is our daily work. And then learn a system to show it to others. So this is duplication. So this is something that's really important. Forget about your own unique way. You have your own unique way, that's good. But the basis is other pipes. Applies, it's just the pipes. So when it comes to couples, we were saying on our vision board, we were like, okay, please, can we mainly work with couples that are in a very good relationship? Because when you are, you can triple, multiply your success like crazy. Working with couples is amazing. You have to know who is doing what. This can change, of course, but you have to talk about it. And when you have to stop talking about the business, which is important. We were finding ourselves brushing our teeth in the bathroom and discussing placements. So that was the point when we were saying, okay, we might have some hours where we're not talking about our own business. It's challenging, but we manage it. Never talk about business in the bedroom, for example. This is a very important thing, which we had to learn. That this is there are some holy areas where we have to stop. This is one thing. You
really have to be clear about that. This is. It sounds funny, but when you start talking about doTERRA in bed, you can't get rid of it anymore. So it is like, because doTERRA is as well our passion as our job, as some kind of game. Because at the end of the month, when you start with your placements, it is just like playing a game. Because you have some, let's call it material you can put in different ways, and it supports their growth, it supports your growth. So it's really, people get being part of your life. So your team grows and it's more people you get into your life. So you have to find a way sometimes to get them out of your life back. And this is when, for couples, really take care of your intimacy and really find your own sacred space where it's no doTERRA and stick to that. This is really, really important, because the first thing, what you talked before about our energy is our couple energy. And then doTERRA comes with it. So it is us and doTERRA. So don't let doTERRA take over to 100%. Sometimes it will anyways, but be careful how you invest your time and appreciate each other, and be clear and grateful about that every day.
But the other thing is that we love our life so much that we don't need a vacation from our life. So even though we are talking sometimes 18 hours about our structure, about our ideas, it doesn't feel like hard work. It's like, it's so passionate. So for us, it's a dynamic, and we really have to force ourselves. Maybe 1 hour a day we're not talking, maybe not while brushing teeth, etc. But it still is something like a good game between us, and we have a common goal. This is also something. I think a lot of couples, they lose their picture together, where we want to be, where we want to go, what we want to achieve in life. So one is working there. This might also work. I don't know. It's just not for us. One is working there. The other is working there. She has her goal. He has his goal. So nice. But when you put this together and then it multiplies, it can go really fast. And this is interesting looking at it. It might not be for every couple. I don't know. I'm not a couple therapist, and I will never be. But for doTERRA
is like a lifelong therapy, actually.
Like a massive therapy session.
Therapy, and the couple therapy as well. So
When
if your relationship is in trouble when you begin doTERRA, you won't have no relationship no longer.
It's a nice prediction.
And if you are
people might get afraid.
You just get clear. You just get clear on your points, which
maybe
is
can
important.
be just cut out.
It is.
I love the honesty.
It is important to be clear about what you do. So when you are a strong team, you will crush it. It will be great. And if you have, because I think often we are happy with something because we think we should have to be happy, and we are honestly not.
Okay.
So
it's like, are we tricking ourselves
I think
into
we
so.
often
Okay.
do. I think we often do. We talk everything like it is all like flour and honey, and maybe it is not. And it is like I mentioned in the beginning of our talk, it is not always easy. And you need some strength, and you need some trust, and you need some faith, and you need a lot of belief in order to go for the long way. And it is like when you look at doTERRA, it's just like I read 1% who go to the highest ranks. It is not because it's so hard to do. It's not so hard to share oils. It is really hard to have the discipline on the long way and really show up every day. So no matter how you feel, you show up every day. And this is the thing which I can share with everyone. If you really want to be clear about that point and you want to go all in, you have to have the discipline and you have to show up on a daily basis. And even if it's not easy or like it may be, sometimes it has to be, so go for it.
And the first time the husband shows up in the team call, it's like
always a good sign.
check.
Like, yeah, we got it.
We made it. Yes, because we know that the energy doubles and triples, and this is really good.
It's not a coincidence that if you look at all the leadership things, the most successful are couples. It is like, it is ladies. It will be some men, I hope. So we're working on that. But it is couples because you are having the same project. And if you lack a project, I think it's hard to find your way. But if you have a strong project, it can get you anywhere. So for those who feel like they need something really intense in their life and they want to go all in together, doTERRA is the best thing you can imagine.
I love it. So it sounds like you're dealing with a lot. Do you guys sleep at night? Or you're so on fire?
I sleep perfectly.
I would be
Angela sometimes too.
I would be the worst person to teach work-life balance.
That was my question, actually, so thank you.
Impossible. So I know there are people who are very good in that. It's not me first. I'm not into the philosophy of me first. Not that I think it's a bad philosophy. It's just not something for me.
Yeah.
Because I'm an empath and I look around. I feel around all the time. Sometimes I can make it stop, but not really. So, and I think it's a great power when you're serving people and when you take care of people. Of course, sometimes I need to force myself because I have the same with animals. So then it becomes a huge range for, yes, for help and support. So sometimes I have to force myself to stop and make myself a tea and breathe. Yeah. But that's what I do. But we learn, we grow and learn. With that, sometimes we had the feeling that we're totally burned out. But when we're in the middle of a project or creating a new system or a new way to implement the system in our team, we would just not stop because we're so passionate about this that we're not like, okay, now we go. No, we just continue doing this. There's sometimes a bit much. We know. But I think we're getting a bit better, in making breaks. Yeah.
If a camera would follow us a whole week, 24 hours a day, and you would watch it, it would not look like work.
No, I think so.
This is when we're talking about because it is a common thing that people talk about. They are burned out. We're not burned out.
No,
we're not even close being burned out. No. And if the camera would follow us, it is ridiculous talking about the burnout because most of our conversations we have are in the sun somewhere, walking around or doing something. So
creating
these days
things.
we are mostly on Mallorca where the sun is shining 300 days a year and we have some meetings with people in cafes close to the sea. It is work, but we can create the way of work which we like to have. So This work-life balance, I tried it. I tried it with a work-life balance. I tried to meditate on a daily basis. I try to do it on a monthly basis now, and it works perfect. And the main thing, or the main problem, issue, challenge for me is you can't approach people while meditating. And not if you're meditating and not if they are meditating. So we changed over to CrossFit and found a nice group there, which is perfect to approach people because they are constantly in pain. And it's really fun
for you.
It's really fun. So yes, we have some kind of work-life balance. Because our life is a work-life
our life is work-life balance. And when we are in Zooms with other higher ranks in the middle of the day, for example, after whatever, and someone's saying, I'm so over, me. So maybe it's only a German-speaking thing, I don't know, but it's that way. Then I sometimes say, okay, guys, we're in the middle of the day. We decided to be in this Zoom now. So whatever we do after it or later, it's our decision. Yeah. So this has nothing to do with being overwhelmed. We just have a project. Let's go for it. So sometimes we just forget in what kind of super, super luxury situations we are, that we can manage our day completely free, which is amazing. So in our, what we call work-life balance, it's just that we're creating something. This is life. So I don't need to be balanced from life, because my life is my life. So that's perfect. Yes, and that's wonderful. So so go for it. Maybe when someone is complaining, he or she just hasn't found, the thing that really keeps him going.
You just need.
Then you have time to complain when you're really passionate with something and you really then you don't have time to complain.
And you don't need time off from something you love. So you just. Sometimes you're exhausted because even things you love to do exhaust you somehow.
Of course.
But you're just exhausted. It's not like you need holiday. The whole concept of holidays is crazy, because if you need holidays, it means that you spend most of your time with doing things you don't like to do, because you don't need off time from something you love. So change what you do so you never ever need holidays again. This is, and still, again, it's not always easy. I don't flip out of bed every morning and I'm super happy to run into my first Zoom. It is not like that. It is often like that. And often I have time to go to sports or run or something in the morning, because I decide when I do what and how and with whom. And this is the biggest privilege.
This is a big luxury.
Yes, it is. It is.
Okay. One of the last questions I have for you guys is, does set your soul on fire? What does set your soul on fire?
Growth. It's definitely growth.
Growth and movement, conscious movement. Really, when you see that people around change you and make different decisions and more natural decisions, this is what makes me crazy passionate. Yes, it really keeps me going.
We had a situation last month that one of my team, a man out of our team, without his wife, he's working alone. He called me, he got silver last month. And he said that he's so grateful for my support on that way. By the way, he's not my enrollment, he's a team member, so I don't care of enrollments or sponsorship or whatever. But I really like him and I try to support him. And we have a deal to support him until diamond, because he really wants to go fast, and he hit silver last month. And he called me and said, hey, this is the month where I earned the most in my whole life as a silver. And this is what I can flip out on things like that, because this is the reason why I get up in the morning. It's growth, and it's making possible for other people to grow as well, and to really be themselves, in not going for anything, going for what they love to do, and start growing. And realize by themselves, and this is the big thing about silver and the doTERRA mindset, this belief in you. When people start believing in themselves, this is freaking me out.
And feel that they're capable of much more than they thought they are. Yeah. This makes me cry.
I love that. Oliver, back to what you said, it was instant grow.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember, but that day that I saw you at leadership a few years ago, you had the word grow written on that slide, and that still resonates a lot with me. So thank you for saying grow. Yeah.
But it is
everything makes sense.
The whole planet is about growth. It is like every tree, every grass, everything is about growth. So I think the only reason why we are here is to grow
mentally.
In every way. In every way, we have to grow. And if it's nothing else, but you are going to bed a little bigger in any way.
A little
then you got up in the morning.
Each day would be so
and
nice.
That's it. That's
so
all
powerful.
about.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, can you tell me who you are in one word?
Authentic.
This is tricky. Oh.
Yeah, that's pretty easy. I would say, do I have my own word?
You can.
Or do we have a couple's word?
I mean, obviously your is
authentic.
Yeah, thank you.
I think I said that a few times.
You said it a couple of times today. Yeah?
Authentic.
I'm going with that, but also unconventional. This is what, if someone described me, it might be unconventional.
I love it.
Yes.
Guys, this conversation has set my soul on fire.
Yeah!
So thank you so much for coming here. It's lovely to spend some time with you and just feel very privileged to be your host today, to chat with you. So thank you for sharing the knowledge. I love the golden nuggets that you dropped here, there and everywhere during the conversation. I hope our listeners, I'm sure our listeners will be able to pick up what they need. So
this would be
thank
important.
you.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for listening to today's episode, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please make sure to leave us a review and let us know your thoughts. Thank you, and see you next time.